Hello, Miss Raylene, and my lovely boy, Erik. Love you both.
He says, hello, Mama. I love you very much. That's Erik. And hello, Elisa. I'm excited to be here with you and Erik.
Oh, I'm excited too. Probably even more so. And we've had so many of the peeps, my lovely peeps who I love, request that we do an interview on Aaron Hernandez. You know, my list is so long that unless multiple people request, I just don't, what's going on out there? I just don't, I can't squeeze them in. So
Your son, he goes, you want to know what's going on out there? He goes, chaos, ruckus. That's what's going on.
oh yes, always. I just saw a squirrel. Actually, my kids got me a t-shirt a long time ago that said, what do you mean? I don't understand why people think I have ADHD. Oh, this squirrel. Yeah. So that's me. I'm gonna keep it calm.
You guys are nice.
Here we go. Let's see if you can bring in Mr. Aaron Hernandez, the MLB wonderful baseball player.
He's already here. He has one request. He doesn't want to talk about his family.
Oh, no.
He will talk about himself directly.
Absolutely.
But he doesn't want to talk about family, our children.
All right, that's fine. Even you don't want to even give a message to them, I guess, right?
Nope.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We're here to give you a voice, not to, exploit or be voyeuristic or anything. We're here to learn from you, really. All right, so
thank you.
Now you don't have to answer it. These are all blog member questions. You don't have to, if you don't want to answer one, then fine. One person wants to know, was the reason you committed the crimes due to football injuries to the CTE, I think it's called, chronic traumatic encephalopathy?
He says that my actions were caused by my brain illness, my brain injury. Mm. His injuries came from football from a very young age. Before NFL, there was already damage done to the brain. NFL added to it. Yes, to answer your question, yes.
Well, what kind of trauma did you get to your head as a child? What was it all?
Concussions, sports related, yes. Concussions, injury to the head. He shows injury to his chest, his back. But the thing that was, what's the right word to put to that? Like long-lasting damage that impacted his life would be the head damage.
Okay. Well, bless your heart. I saw a movie about that. The doctor who discovered, the forensic pathologist who discovered the connection. So
there's so much that's not studied, and
yeah. Well, in NFL, it's, they want to hold on to their money. So I'm sure there's a reason.
He's talking about this, and he says how it is all about money related, and it's not thought of the safety of the players, because if it was that case, there would be people that would be getting the right health directed towards them when they have injuries.
And safer helmets, but they probably didn't want to go through that expense, or of course they didn't want to, people to know the connection so that they would be sued.
Yes.
Okay. One person asks, I am curious to know if there's a connection to the other murders, like some common denominator of some sort. I really don't know anything about this. Nothing. Sorry.
Yes, he says there is. He had a knowing. Yeah. Okay. He had a knowing of the person. First off, she killed somebody, and he is admitting to it.
Who is admitting? Him?
Aaron killed somebody.
Okay. Got it.
He knew the person he killed. There was a connection to the individual. It was not just a random,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt you type of thing. He knew him. There was a connection. There was also substance, drug related, money, dealing, something that had gone bad. It was connected to drugs and money, substance of some sort. Not like a pill type of substance, like hardcore drugs. I would have to say like
Heroin?
acid or cocaine, heroin, yes. Some type
Were
of,
you purchasing? Were you buying the drugs?
yes, and distributing.
Okay, and were you buying them because you wanted to self-medicate because you were struggling so hard?
He didn't he didn't realize that he was self-medicating during his time of being alive, but he says, yes, I was self-medicating. He was covering up his emotions.
Mm.
He held on to a lot of energy from childhood, from his growing up, that impacted his adulthood. People and memories stayed there. He says, with that, my brain, you know how we have an automatic pilot of auto doing things? His brain had an automatic pilot of thinking.
Oh,
So the way he was brought up, it was habit, auto thinking. His thoughts created his actions.
like
Is
what
the
kind
best
of
way I can
thoughts? Like
explain this.
negative? I mean, what was wrong with your childhood? Were you treated badly by siblings or parents or peers? Were you told you were no good, and then that negative thought just kept on replaying? I mean, can you give me a little bit more detail, please?
There was trauma with his childhood where rejection was a theme and where he wasn't nurtured to the extent of how your average child should be nurtured. He's talking about the environment of gangs being around where he was brought up, the environment of where he learned coping skills of violence. He's talking about all environments based what he learned. My thoughts were created but based off of my environment, which
Yeah.
was something that traveled with me through adulthood because of the brain injury and not moving forward. He
Oh.
talks about not healing those thoughts
Mm.
or the process of, he says rejection, but not being physically aware of being rejected. This is subconsciously going back to childhood. If you think about when you're a child, say little Elisa wants to have attention from mom and mom's too busy. She says, not right now, I don't have time. That time never comes. So in the back of your mind, little Elisa, this is rejection. I'm rejected. I'm not good enough for mom. So I'm carrying this through adulthood.
Mm.
But he says, I didn't put this together then. I'm putting it together now. He says it's where my thoughts were of what I was putting together, perceiving, and what that perception was equaling what that meant for me, which was rejection.
Oh, it's awful. I would
He
have been
says
a
just
good
to,
mother for you. Um,
oh,
I would have told you every day how much I loved you. Now, here's another person. The most pressing question I have for Aaron is, why did he kill himself? Was it part of his spiritual contract?
it was an exit point. It wasn't something that was set concrete in stone. He wasn't sure if he was going to take it, but it was something that was set, yes. He is talking about guilt overcoming him and fear. It wasn't fear of being in jail or prison. It wasn't fear of having people hurt me. It was fear of being by himself, solitude, his thoughts, his brain.
Alone with his thoughts, with those racing
Yes,
negative thoughts?
yes.
Well, why
Fear
would he
of
be
being by
alone?
himself.
Why would you think he would be alone?
He says when you are somebody who is very well known, you're not put into normal population.
Yeah.
You're gonna be somewhat solitude.
Yeah, it's
You
like you're on this
never,
ivory tower and nobody
Yes.
connects with you and say, do you don't know if they're just after, just wanting to know somebody famous or get something out of you, or if they truly care. So I bet that is a lonely feeling.
And what's worst is where my thoughts were. My thoughts were not normal, happy, loving. They were something else. And so for me to be trapped, imagine yourself in a cage, in bars, literally.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to
Oh,
escape.
gosh.
My escape was leaving.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't think about loved ones. I didn't think about myself. I didn't think about pain, consequences. I thought about relief.
Kind of like you,
Things I
Erik,
can hold
the
on
same
to.
thing. You just wanted relief.
He says, "You're right, Mom." He says,
Oh,
when we as humans are about to do something drastic like that, it's not where you're actually processing it.
okay.
You're wanting relief.
Did you suffer sexual abuse at any point? Like, for example,
Childhood.
pardon me?
Childhood.
Oh, really?
Um, I want to say actually it's not 5 or 6. He's showing me older. I've got to go with 10 to 12, possibly. Older.
Was it somebody you knew? Friend,
Yes.
family,
Not a
church
family
member?
member. It's
Pardon me?
not a family member,
Okay.
but it is somebody that was known by the family or trusted by the family, but not blood relative, no.
Okay. A teacher, a priest, anything like Boy Scouts, or just a
No,
friend, just a friend, a known friend.
like a friend of the family.
Oh boy. So also a lot of people are wondering if you struggled with your sexual orientation, maybe even because of that.
He says, my sexual orientation was straight. I
Oh,
never had, he says, confusion about it.
okay. Um, how did you first feel? And what were your first insights when you crossed over to the other side? And also, like, tell me about the experience. Who did you meet, etc.?
He didn't feel, he says, I didn't necessarily feel. It was more emotions. I don't know how to explain this. When you think of the word feelings, like tangible, he had nothing tangible. He
Okay.
was connecting to his conscious, his thoughts. He shows himself being lost. He's not seeing himself. You know, there's a state, I guess you can consider it limbo. He was not, he didn't see his body and everything after death. He was lost. He didn't see what happened afterwards. He had to have help to
Truly, fully cross over.
cross over. Yeah. Even though, which is really surprising. So I'm asking him in my head, even though you were aware that you were going to be going, you still had, you're being lost. He says, yes. He had to have help from getting over. There's a female that is not related to him. I would say she's like a counselor of some sort. She has no connection to his life as Aaron.
So kind of
She's
like
the one that helped him.
this is so parallel to Eric's story because his counselor was Cawley, Cawley. So um, you know,
Nobody that he knew, no relatives.
yeah, yeah,
And that was because of the stage of where he was at, which is why he explains that I didn't see all that Erik did. I didn't get to see my body. He says it's something that I could have gone back and visited, which I have, but it's not something that I desire to do like over. He says
yeah.
now I see,
Okay,
he says he sees disappointment and shock,
yeah.
but it's from not himself, it's from other people. He
Okay.
feels what other people feel and he's perceiving it himself.
Oh gosh, that's tough. Did you who's with you now, and what do you do over there?
He's healing.
Oh,
He
good.
is simply working on himself. He is not even trying to show people that he's around. There's a healing state that he's in. He's here right now, but I gotta say that he's not connected to where Erik is naturally. He's in a recovery stage.
Okay.
But it's emotionally, it's consciously in his head.
Yeah.
He's still figuring things out. There's so much healing that he has to do. There's things that he doesn't even understand yet, such as why I killed somebody. He's still not comprehending this.
Why? I was going to ask. I see that somebody making a delivery, but I have a sign up there that says, "Do not ring door. Do not knock. We will yell. Dogs will bark. Shit will get real." But if you need a signature, then that's fine, or something like that. All right.
That
So
is awesome.
love that.
That
Sign.
is
I got that
awesome.
on Etsy for $10. Oh, okay. One person wants to know if you killed yourself in part because you wanted your kid to be left the money to buy the Patriots. Well, you said that you weren't even thinking about family, so I don't know.
No.
Okay. Was it your life contract in part to bring light to this brain disorder?
Yes.
I bet.
This is going to change the outcome of how the NFL treats their players and the type of care that they receive. He says when there's an accident and even before accident occurs, different material, safety equipment, like he's really communicating. I got to show you my goosebumps. You see my goosebumps there?
Oh my God.
When spirit communicates with me, I light up, and he's persistent.
Wow.
He's coming in to bring safety to sports, not even NFL. It's like all sports. This is a big thing that we don't pay enough attention to. And there's a lot of injuries, and people have shorter lives, or people have disabilities because they're not properly wearing the proper equipment.
I had a disagreement with one of my relatives who's a doctor, orthopedic surgeon, who's so into football, but I just happened to mention, gosh, I believe that kids should not play contact sports until their growth plates are totally fused. He got really upset, but what do you think about that?
That's not a good answer. He says, agree to disagree.
Yeah, I did.
No, but he's so funny. He says, I understand the concept of it because then your children will always be safe, but you have to also understand that there's possibility of injuries just by walking outside the door. If you want to delay a child from experiencing something that they want to experience.
Oh, if they want to do it, maybe, but there's so many other things that don't involve trauma to growth plates.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll go on.
Yes.
Okay. Have you had your life review, or maybe you still even going through it?
Yes, he has.
And did you get anything out of it?
Processing. This is interesting. I've never heard of it like this. He's still processing his life review. And by processing, he can go back to, I want to say this is like time. What do you say when you go back to time? Time travel. Thank you. It's like time travel that he's going back to and still processing different aspects of what he did, who he was, why he did what he did, and learning about why he did what he did. He says, I'm still processing it. The life review is done, but I'm still processing it.
Like through the timeline, going and seeing what the other person's perspective was in the way the thinking and emotions. And yeah, I get that. Were you guilty of any of the crimes you were acquitted of?
Yes.
Okay. All of them? Were you?
No.
Yeah, all of them?
No.
So were there things that you were charged with that you did not do?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's terrible.
But I was connected to the situation.
Yeah,
Now he's talking about doing it physically. No.
okay, yeah, okay. Um, did you commit more murders than just the ones reported to the media?
He says yes, and he has shame over the answer, but he wants to be honest, and this is why he's
Remember, you
telling
don't have to answer things you feel uncomfortable with. Did you think that you would get away with any of these crimes?
all of them.
Yeah. Well, you
But
did have
he's
a brain
explained,
injury, so sometimes it's just not easy to think clearly.
but not only that, he says, I had gotten away with so many things. It was like I got careless or I thought I was invincible. He was at that stage, whether this is getting away with drinking and driving or getting away with lying. It's a pattern of he was able to do certain things. So, the more you do, it's like the more you want. He got at that
Yeah,
stage.
I understand. Is there anything, there's somebody who works with children um, that had quite a few issues that look very similar to your life path. And this person wants to know, could anything have been done to have helped your brain and begun a path of healing rather than things progressing as they did?
Immediately with my very first injury, yes.
Okay. What should have been
Or
done?
immediately with the onset of an injury, longer therapy. He is going off
Well,
because
what
it's
kind of
all
therapy?
about therapy. He says this is physical therapy and this is also emotional therapy, traumatic therapy.
Yeah.
He's talking about retraining the brain because once you have an injury, the brain needs to come back into healthy function, equilibrium balance.
Yeah.
Um,
It has to
it's
rewire
like
itself then?
rewire, yes, rewire the brain. And he says it takes about a year. It's not something that is short period of time and then
Oh,
bam, back onto the field. He goes, it takes time.
yeah.
He is super talkative. Like
Oh,
he's
that's awesome. Well,
pushing
here's
for
what
this right
I'm
now.
saying. Glad to give you the platform to do that. Um, uh, are you hanging out with Kobe Bryant?
Hell yeah.
Tell me about that.
You guys are funny. So he brings them through. He says that he helps me because he knows he helps Kobe and Kobe helps him. I'll, Aaron is the one who's talking about Kobe helping him emotionally. They're both dealing with emotional detachments. They're different, but they're very similar. So, when you have like a buddy that you have something in common with, or a friend here on earth, and you guys get along really good because of that, they help each other emotionally because they're going through similar
Yeah. Similar, but
situations.
yeah,
So they're feeding
different.
off of each
Yeah.
other.
Wow.
Yeah,
If you could live your life as Aaron Hernandez again, what would you have done differently?
nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Because contracts are contracts. Um, do you have any messages for your fellow NFL players and fans? For some reason, I thought you were a baseball player earlier. Sorry about
Erik
that.
is saying, your son is being a smartass over here. He goes,
Oh,
Mom, why haven't you ever asked me that question?
what?
if
Oh, well, okay. We'll let you do that too.
God, Erik, what
Okay.
would Aaron
Yeah.
do differently? He goes, now I got to think about it. We're going to let Aaron answer this.
Okay. Yeah. Go back and
What
think
was
about
the
it.
purpose of that, Erik? You're just interrupting now. Goodness.
Oh, like his mama, I guess.
Aaron, that's funny. Aaron says that I wouldn't do anything differently because I learned a lot from what I went through, and it's experiences that I don't regret, good or bad. He says, my legacy is going to change the way that safety is brought in sports.
Good.
This is the purpose of it. He would
I
change
hope it's
absolutely
surprise.
nothing.
Yeah.
Erik figured out what he would change. Erik would change his confidence. He says, I would have more confidence in myself. That way I would have more girls.
Oh, yeah, that is so true. That's so true. So, do you have any messages for your fellow NFL players and fans? And yeah, that, and also for the world in general.
I'm a good person. I am a person who made a bad choice. That bad choice does not show who I am. He says, I am a good person with a good heart who made a mistake. He says, I am working on forgiving myself. And he says, I hope I have forgiveness from my fans. He doesn't want people to think ill of him.
Yeah.
He wasn't okay. He wasn't processing what he did. He had drugs that influenced him and also a brain injury that influenced him.
Yeah.
So he wants everybody to take all of that into consideration, and just know that be safe with every sport that you do, and love your child every day that you have them. Love your mother and your father, your family members, your neighbors, your friends, your fans. Just love them every day that you have them. He didn't expect any of this. He never thought he would be in jail. He never thought he would be committing suicide. He never thought his life would end as early as it did.
Yeah.
He says that goes to show people how drastic your life can change by simple actions.
Yeah.
He's telling people that you can control your thoughts. If you have a negative thought, put a positive thought in your head that can help your actions, that can help your outcome of your life.
That's right. And one
Just
way to do it
cautious.
too is tweak the perspective. Like, well, like Erik, I'm sure you agree, there is no right or wrong, bad or good. They're just experiences with teachable moments. I know it's hard to see that from the standpoint of a victim of that bad choice, but as you know, for the perspective of an eternal spirit living a human existence, a human experience, it's just that way. So really, your fans should understand, hopefully now, that you did what you did because of a spiritual contract, and that spiritual contract was a sacrifice to bring safety to the sports, the field of sports, and awareness of safety. So don't be so hard on yourself, dude.
He says, I'm getting through this. He said,
Yeah.
thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, you bet. Let me see. This one person has some things, but okay. Let me see. When you went on trial for the murder of Odom, oh, I don't know, Odom Lloyd.
That's the person he killed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and he did.
Went to trial to for the murder of Odom plus the other two guys from the club. It came out that he was gay. That's not true. When he was a small child, he wanted to be a cheerleader, but his father fixed that, smacked it right out of him. Is that true? I mean, there's guys, cheerleaders. Come on.
No, not true.
Okay. Well, did he ever want to be a cheerleader?
No.
Oh, where that? Okay.
He is saying that he was feminine, and people mistaken that he was never gay. And he says it's not wrong to be gay. He says if I was, I would be 100% willing to say this because it's fine. He says, but the fact is, those are things that society said about me by appearance or his feminine energy.
Yeah, that's okay. That feminine energy, I love it. Erik, you had the macho side and the feminine side. All right, so okay, this is the
I
last.
still do.
Huh?
He says, I still do.
Yeah. Okay, so there was some speculation that wanted to know why he killed his girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, Odom Lloyd. Was he caught in a sexual act with another man, and Odom saw you? Did Odom report that he saw you having sex with another man?
Yes.
Why would he lie? Oh,
There
you
was
can
an
have sex with.
affair.
Hey, wait, you
There
can,
was an affair.
huh?
That's not true. It was something that was falsely said to deteriorate his person, like of who Aaron was, trying to like bring him down. I don't know the right word to put towards this, but it was something.
Defamation.
It wasn't real. It was something that was fake to bring him down.
I mean, you don't have to
Aaron,
be gay to have sex with another man, okay? You know that, right?
absolutely, absolutely. But he says it wasn't that. That was not the case. He had an affair,
Who's he?
Aaron.
Aaron?
There's a love triangle, there's a relationship. It's not with another man, it's with a woman.
Okay.
This may have been the woman of the person that he killed.
Okay.
Um, he's showing affair. There was affair. It's another woman, it's not a male. That's what led to the lie.
Okay. So that's it. I don't want to get into exploitive details, but yeah. All right. So that certainly makes sense. Okay. Real quick, the spiritual questions that we have. Your spiritual mission, that was to bring safety awareness, right?
That's one of them, yes.
And any
And
other big ones?
he's talking about himself. He was coming in to gain confidence. He did too much. Well, that's a great example because how he had confidence with getting away, whether it's getting away with lying or getting away with, you know, things that he should have been in trouble with. That was the confidence that he carried.
That's
So
more
when he came
arrogant.
in to learn,
It's more
he
arrogant than
overextended
confident.
it.
That's not a healthy confidence. Let's put it that way. It's probably
No, though.
working on arrogance.
Yes, but when you think about it from his standpoint, he had confidence in everything that he did and things that you should not have confidence in.
Well, that's why in one way you excelled so much in your sport. Were you here to
Yeah.
what were you here to learn beside confidence? Were you here to learn dealing with guilt? Or I heard you say something about that, but maybe that's only when you were on the other side.
No, not dealing with guilt. He's talking about learning how to parent, um,
Okay.
be there physically and emotionally, not just financially. He says that he also was learning how to nurture himself. He wasn't, do you know when you lack nurturing, so you are never showed how to nurture. Therefore, you don't know how to nurture yourself.
Yes.
He was learning how to nurture himself because of a lack of nurture that was done for him.
Well, how did you nurture yourself while you were alive? Or did you?
He had to learn how to do it when he was alive. Nurturing himself would be being nice to himself, having nice thoughts, knowing that I don't have to do something for somebody to love me, knowing that I am lovable without extending something to somebody.
Good.
There's
You're
different
worthy of love.
areas. Yeah,
Everybody is.
I like that. His energy is very calm and collective right now.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Were you here to teach anything other than the safety thing? Or is there anything else you were here to teach? Anybody, the individual or the masses?
Not to, not to the collective or not to a mass. To family members, yes. To myself, yes. But he says those are
I
personal.
did. Okay, we won't talk about it. Okay. You talked about having regrets, but as a spirit, looking and seeing, well, this was all done to honor a spiritual contract. Do you still really feel regrets, or is that your human errand stepping in?
I still really feel regret. I'm asking him to give me an analogy of how he could still feel that regret. Say you, that's good, we'll go with food. You eat this really big hamburger and it's really bad for you, right? Now your stomach is messed up a couple hours later. You did it because you were hungry. You had to do it, right? It was something that needed to be done.
Whoa.
Later on, you regret it. Do you understand how just because it was supposed to be done, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to have emotion or
Whoa.
consequences connected to it. I love that analogy, dude.
Beautiful analogy. God. All right. So, but are you still kind of hanging on to the human part of Aaron? I mean, and that will eventually probably go away. I don't know.
Completely. He says, not kind of, completely. This is why he's healing so much, because as he was saying, he's going through each part of his
Timeline.
he's still processing his life reveal. And so with each thing that he's really processing time by time, he's healing with it too.
And so he's letting go little bits by little bits of the human part of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The more he lets go, the more he can be, I want to say spirit, but he's already spirit.
Yeah.
The more he can be more evolved, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Pure consciousness.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I just got maybe a couple of things. Can you describe another life that most influenced your one is Aaron Hernandez? Hernandez.
Shows being a writer, composing music, writing music.
Okay.
Not like classical music and stuff like that. I would have to say this is coming from the 50s or the 60s
Okay.
time frame, and it's writing music. He didn't sing, he was the writer that produced songs for people to sing. That influenced this life because he was able to impact a lot of people the same way he did this life, just a different way of it.
I see.
His soul likes to leave a mark on a collective, not on just one, on a collective, a group.
Yeah. Interesting. So you're the kind of soul that wants to leave a mark on the collective.
We teach, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was that in the United States or elsewhere?
United States.
Was it like Elvis music or beatnik music or I don't know, was it Beach Boys kind of thing, or were you well known?
He was not well known, but his songs, people sang songs that were well known. The genre of music it's not like the Beatles, it's before that. It's mellow. It's
Like
not classical.
blues, like I don't know, like Billie Holiday kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
There you go.
Right, awesome.
I suck with music.
Oh, no. Can you name a song that we would know that maybe people didn't know you were the writer, but the song became famous?
Uh-uh.
No, it's okay.
The genre is not in my filter at all.
Okay. All right. So, last, can you share anything about you that we don't know about? It could be something fun, like you like to smell your socks after you take them off, or you wear boxers or go commando. I don't know. I'm taking myself into a deep hole.
I like to learn new things.
Ah, good.
He likes to read, but he had to be interested in what he read.
But people did not know that as a general rule.
He says
Okay.
no. See, the thing is, he was so busy with life. You know, when
Yeah.
you're famous, he says there's expectations that you live up to. He says, I was so busy with those expectations, I didn't take care of myself.
No, it's not worth it. Oh my God.
Fame can
Well,
do.
is there anything else you want to say? And then Erik, I'll ask you if you want to ask him any questions. You can too, of course, Raylene.
He says no, he's good. Erik? Erik wants to know if he still feels pain in his head, like physical pain
Oh,
from the head injuries, because
yeah.
he's healing from it still. Aaron's response, it's not physical pain like we have here, it's more emotional pain,
I gotcha. Yeah. I can
but in the head.
imagine there's negative emotional energy that's in there. Well, and thank you so much for coming in, Aaron. I hope this gave you a chance to air the things you wanted to air, and you showed great courage. I really respect you. Thank you, Erik, for helping us out. Thank you, Raylene, for being so awesome.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah, thank you.
Erik says goodbye to everybody and thank you, Mama. I love you. Aaron says thank you for this opportunity. And your father is also here who says hello.
Okay. Hey, I want to know why you drew out on the e-board matador. Why you spelled that out?
Trying to say hello. He's trying to get your attention. He
Oh,
said
okay.
it's me. I'm learning. He's not used to that. He is really learning how to manipulate energy from
Cool.
boards to electronics. He needs you to know that. He's proud
Awesome.
of you.
Keep doing it. Erik, you can help him out too.
I will. I am. He says I'm on it.
Do you guys hang out at all together?
Not often, but they do.
What about mom and my sister Denise?
He hangs out with Aunt Denise the most.
Okay.
Mom occasionally, a lot like with Grandpa. He says that it's not that I don't have time for them. He says it's just the way it is.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds good. And thank you so much, Raylene. You guys check her out at angelmedium7.com, and I will put that right here. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Raylene.
Bye, Lisa.
This was awesome, as usual.
Thanks.